Peggy 18.
Hello, we are here today to talk about the European Regionals and the Call of Duty World Championship. Okay, let's talk about the UK team. So the first qualifier, the teams that qualified was TCM, Millennium, Epsilon and Infused.
The two big teams for me are Epsilon and TCM. I mean, these guys have competed at the highest level for such a long time now. In all Call of Duty tournaments, we kind of see these two duking it out over first and second place.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Epsilon just because you've got like Mad Cat, Josh, Swanee, Tommy, who are just absolutely incredible players, and when you go up against them, they're always on top of you. But then TCM got Shane. The thing is with Shane is he can bring a team together and make them perform at the highest level. But it's going to be an incredibly close match, but I think Epsilon have just that little bit more of an edge.
Astro, you going with Epsilon?
Yeah, I think I have to go with Epsilon. That's a really scary team individually. Like the individual performances we've seen out of those players in past COD champs, especially like with Tommy last year, for example.
Yep.
He played phenomenal, very unlucky and unfortunate how they exited the tournament.
The next two teams that I already spoke about is Infused and Millennium. Now they have to play each other to qualify for LA. Where are you going to call this one?
This one definitely could go either way, though. It's all going to come down to the day.
Millennium going up against maybe a team with a little bit less experience and veterancy. Do you think that's going to hurt them?
I mean, when it comes to things like this, experience certainly works in your favour. These guys, as you say, have been around for a long time. They know how to adapt to different play styles, whereas arguably the newcomers, if you like, are going to struggle going up against such a well-polished team. So certainly experience will work in the favour, but newcomers do bring that element of surprise. Millennium won't have been able to practice against these guys as much as they will have against other teams, and that can certainly be a decisive factor in who will win.
Okay, second qualifier. We had Aware, we had Intensity, Ambition, and Barrage. Now, these matchups, TCM will have to play Barrage, and you're going to have Ambition going against Epsilon.
If I'm being particularly honest, I think teams like TCM and Epsilon are already a foregone conclusion. Everyone's predicting that they're going to go through and be competing at Call of Duty Champs. The only game here that I don't think is going to be a foregone conclusion in the UK bracket is Millennium Infused. That could swing either way, and it depends who turns up on the day.
The French qualifiers, you had Team Vitality X. What do you think about them?
They have this massive fan base. I mean, they have chance, but you know, can they actually just punch this ticket right now? Obviously, they've been shaky. I don't think that they're going to have any issue with it.
They're so strong as a unit. I mean, I've seen them play. I've seen what Gataga's capable of.
A few of the others come out there. I mean, there's going to be some big names, like Zyla Innocentia is a well-known player across Europe. I think they're going to win against Pulse.
Yeah, it's a valid point, but at the same time, you could say this Pulse team that we don't know too much about are this unknown entity. They could have been playing hard, practicing so much with each other.
Every team in this competition has to go in and perform at their highest they possibly can. If they underestimate any opposition, they could not be getting to the Call of Duty Championships.
Okay, let's talk about players, personalities. Who are the big names we are looking for? Benny, who's your eye on?
I'm going to keep an eye on Swanee because I've always kind of like admired his kind of play style and stuff like that holding AR role, and I think he's just going to be one of those performers. See what he's learned and taken from the US with playing with Optic Nation, and how he brings it into the Epsilon team, and how he helps the Epsilon to progress through the qualifiers.
Hashtag, who have you got your eye on?
I'm going to say Tommy, because I felt like he had an amazingly strong performance last year at the championships, and just throughout all of the Call of Duty Ghosts season. I felt like Tommy was playing exceptionally well, and I'd actually like to see how he performs here in Advanced Warfare in another World Championship.
Rel, who's your favourite?
Well, for me, this might be a bit of a surprise, but I'm actually going to say Melon from Team Infused. Now, this guy doesn't really get the credit he deserves. He's not really had the opportunity to compete at such a high level due to age restrictions, but now he is of age to compete at such events as this. He's just come out of the starting blocks on fire. I mean, we saw him in the online qualifiers putting up double figures every single game that he was playing. He just seems unstoppable.
Anything can happen at this tournament. You know, obviously we can talk about experience of the players and their skill level and all these things, but ultimately it's about, you know, showing up as a team.
Thanks guys for joining me here and giving your predictions and opinions on the players and teams for the Call of Duty European Championship. Let's hope we prove right.